Hey, it's Rabbi Mark Wilds here at MJE. You can take a look at the gray skies. It's not a coincidence. This week's Noach. There's a flood warning here in New York City. There's always lots of flooding and raining when Parshat Noach for some reason. It seems to rain every year at this time. But I have a different message for you this Shabbat, because Noach, while he was a great righteous individual, and the Torah tells us that he was a tzaddik, he was a righteous person, we also know that he was unsuccessful in saving the people of his generation. He was successful at saving himself and his own family. God told him to build an ark, and clearly, he was worthy of being saved. It's starting to rain. But he was unsuccessful at saving the others in his generation. The question is why? Before my notes get too wet, I'm going to read you. Why was Noach named Noach? And that might be the answer. The Torah tells us that his father Lemach named his son Noach because because he will give us comfort. Noach means comfort from the work and the toil of our hands, which comes from the ground. You see, last week God had cursed the ground. It was one of the punishments for Adam and Eve, eating from the apple, from the tree they weren't supposed to eat from, and the ground got cursed. People were having a difficulty working the ground, producing wheat and basic necessities, and Noach was hailed for inventing the plow. Rashi tells us from the Talmudic tradition that Noach invented the plow. And so he was almost like the Thomas Edison of his generation, beloved by everyone for fixing a real issue and problem. Suggests Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, that was the reason perhaps Noach was unsuccessful at inspiring his generation to repent. He was successful with his own self and his own family, but not with others, because perhaps, Rabbi Sachs suggests, he was blinded by love. He was so admired by everyone in his generation for coming up with a cure for one of the biggest problems, the plow, that he didn't want to turn on those same people, or he couldn't see people for who they were. This is a very, very important message for our own community, because we all have friends that love us. But what happens when they do the wrong thing? It's starting to really rain. What happens when our friends do the wrong thing? Do we call them out? Or do we just want them to continue to love us and adore us, and we don't want to rock the boat? We don't want to shake the ark, if you will. And the message is certainly what's going on in the world today, and the whole Me Too movement, which is that if we see our friends, even if we love them, but they're saying the wrong things or they're doing the wrong things, we have to say something. We have to call them out. And I would argue that's being a real friend. A real friend does not watch his or her friend do something wrong and not try to help improve their friend. That's what we're here for. Not simply to be loved by our friends, but to actually help them improve by saying something if someone does something inappropriate. Thank you for listening, and I got to get an umbrella. Shabbat Shalom.